Breadheads, what's up?
The fuck is going on, dude?
Oh damn! This is a chopped and screwed remix of the intro happening here.
I clicked
Play it
on loop by
again.
accident. Do we keep this in? It's kind of
I
funny.
think we keep this in. That's a pretty unique intro. One for the books.
Okay, we have to round it back 3 times Pharrell style. Yeah, we're rolling, Ty. This is live.
Dude, I had a weird moment today where I remembered that Pharrell is the creative director of Louis V, and it just kind of came through my mind, and I just thought that's kind of weird. And does anybody care?
No one cares.
No
It
one
used to be
cares.
so much better when we had a creative director who would like post every day on Instagram like 50 times. You know what I mean? Because then you could really see what was going on behind the closed doors of LV.
Yeah, that's actually what it was, Eric, is that Pharrell doesn't participate in like the dialogue with online social media.
Yeah,
W-
exactly.
Does he have nothing to say, or do you think he's just a private man?
It's hard to say. Probably both. I don't know. He seems like just a quiet guy, you know? Like
Mm.
Virgil was like so outspoken and always had something to share. I think that was the most important thing. Like Pharrell feels like he has
Hmm.
nothing to share ever. He's just like a private, closed book kind of guy. Closed bloke.
Closed bloke. So if you have nothing to share and you're really quiet, that means you cannot be creative nor direct, because to be creative and to direct means to be actively making things and then also putting them in front of other people.
Yes. But I guess this comes as no surprise because right from the beginning we were like, really, Pharrell? Like you're gonna give the job to a rapper who
Mm-hmm.
hasn't designed any clothing really, like maybe some merch here and there or whatever, but maybe involved with BBC, Billionaire Boys
Mm-hmm.
Club. But I don't know. Outside of that, it's like this ain't a real thing, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
he's not the guy for the job. It says more about us as consumers than anything else, really, you know.
That's true. If you're hating on the decision to make him creative director, you're really hating on yourself, because we are what made that decision like a viable one to the business.
Exactly. Everyone's looking at it being like, wow, that's interesting. I bet he's good at his job. People just
Mm-hmm.
assume that he's going to be good at it, but I don't know. It's kind of weak so far. I only remember the first show, and has anything even happened since then? I literally have no clue.
I have no clue. Is anyone really good at their job, though? Because I think about your average sandwich artist or just average cog in the corporate wheel in general, Eric. And
Hmm.
unless if you work for somebody else, whether that is the man paying you $7 for your sandwich, or the the man up top of whatever company, you're not really you can't be good at your job because you're being told what to do by someone else. So there's always going to be information lost in translation.
Hmm.
You can never be
I
really
guess
good at it.
I guess so. Obviously, Ty, there's one exception to this. Sandwich artists. How good are sandwich artists supposed to be? You know what I mean? Because they're taking direct orders from you the entire time. So does that mean they're good at their job or bad at their job? They're doing their job by making your sandwich.
That's a really good point. I feel like they would be better at their job if they called the shots. I think that's, at the end of the day, like, there's this principle around energy transfer where you always lose a little bit of energy whenever you move it. It's like in physics or whatever. I don't know. I'm an arts
Mhm.
major, but I think it's the same thing with communication, where a little bit of context or a little bit of intention is lost when you condense a thought, verbalize it, and then share it with someone else who then has to upload it to their brain and then perform an action based off of it. That's a lot of moments
Mhm.
for like context loss. It's like when you take
Mhm.
your wave file and compress it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Like if I'm airdropping you like a MP3 file, it's not going to be the same as when I was listening to it, right? It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
1 nanobyte of a difference. And do that enough times, and now I have pickles on my sandwich.
Exactly. Like there's a surprising amount of compression happening between what my tongue wants and what the sandwich artist is doing with their hands. from tongue to hand.
So it begs the question, Ty, what is the sandwich artist responsible for? Because I think we can probably create a new job title based on what their actual responsibilities are. It's like the only reason they exist is so that I, as a customer, don't touch the buckets myself. Like
Hmm.
we can't control, we can't have a buffet style Subway restaurant because people will ruin it for everyone by being dirty and, you know, being unsanitary. So maybe we should rename the sandwich artist to be like sanitation associate or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking like bucket bouncer,
Yeah.
Just they handle the
Bucket
door, make
bouncers.
sure the right people are putting their hands in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Glove, glove aficionado or something.
Hmm. They're almost more of a delivery person than anything. If you think about it, you order something on Amazon or perhaps you shop on Essence, and it's someone else's responsibility after you declare your order to prepare it with their hands, package it, and then get it to you. So sandwich artists kind of fulfill that job, but in a smaller context. They're kind of just delivery drivers.
Yeah, or logistics and fulfillment experts.
Hmm. So
It's like
I think,
they could
yeah.
be working at a warehouse and apply the exact same skills. Like at a warehouse, you like receive some kind of message, whether it's like on a device or other, of like things you need to pack into a box. And you like go, okay, I'm gonna go look for those things, put them in the box. Box is a synonym for bun in this case. You close it up, you wrap the box, okay, and then you put it on another conveyor belt for it to go to its next destination. That's literally what sandwich artists do.
Dude, it's crazy how similar that is. So they really are fulfillment associates
Yeah.
at best.
This distribution center clerks, I guess.
Hmm.
What are they called?
Totally.
I don't know.
Uh, I don't even know. The job is so far removed from my daily life as a podcaster that
Yeah.
I struggle to even find the words.
Yeah, dude. That's a good point.
So, okay, imagine this, Eric. At Subway, they always have, you know how they've introduced this new like pickup area? There's like a pickup station now in every single restaurant, and it has the words pickup and some sort of like stickers all over the walls.
Hmm.
Subway's been piloting this as well. What if you had like a foot long like box that's kind of like a little bit nicer wrapping, and they lay the sandwich in there, tie a little bow on it, and then an actual delivery driver came and got it, and you could like gift that at Christmas, you know, in the same way that like you a single rose would come in a box, but instead you're sending your loved one or your it is cuffing season,
Hmm.
so maybe a future boo thing, just a foot long in the mail.
Foot long in a box.
Hmm.
Yeah, there should totally be like get.
Sandwich.
That's a throwback.
Yeah.
There should be an option, Ty, when you check out to include gift wrapping. It's like, would you like, is
Hmm.
this a gift? Question mark. And it's like you click yes, and then that's what like upgrades it from the compostable wrapping paper to
Hmm.
maybe a compostable box with a little window in it, so you can see that there's a steaming footlong in there, and then a nice little green and yellow bow.
Dude, the branding is so obvious for this gift wrapping that AI could generate it perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
it's obviously the very thin cardboard that's practically paper that you get like when
Hmm.
you buy a hot dog at a stadium.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like probably green, and the bow is obviously yellow, or invert those. It doesn't matter.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I think also the cookies come in a similar box type, like a very thin box with the window. Like I think the window is like actually a defining
Mm,
characteristic of like a food like delivery item. You know what I mean? You always want to see
mm.
what's inside.
Yeah, okay, but if you were to put a little window on the Subway gift box, do you put it on top, like the face of it, so you can see the bread, or do you put it on the side for a little cross section?
I love the cross section idea. That's a good one. Dude, you need the cross section, but you also need the bun. Maybe it's kind of like a convertible where it's like you get like
Mm,
it's like the Tesla windshield that
I was
goes
gonna say, yeah,
seamlessly
the
into
Model
the
Y.
glass ceiling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. I
Wow.
need a little bit of both.
Hmm. I think I agree with that. I want a 360-degree view of my foot long before I unwrap it. Really get the taste buds popping.
Hmm. Oh, dude, get me wet and ready for that footlong.
Ooh, dude, I went to Subway last night. No, the night before. I'm sorry. I went to Subway
Dude, last night was a whole different story, but we'll get to that.
for sure. We'll get into that. I was a lonely, the lonely footlong enjoyer because Boo was out for the night and your boy was starving Marvin. So I waddled my fat ass up the street to the Subway for dinner. A strange move, I know, but I knew we needed some content for this podcast. So it's my first time ever eating Subway for dinner alone, I think.
Oh my god.
Wow.
We've come in close contact with a similar situation recently, but I think we avoided it. I think you like opted out or something, right? So this was just like
Hmm.
a lingering desire that you weren't able to squash.
Yeah, dude, a suppressed desire.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about being a single guy eating dinner at Subway is when you walk in, there's no one around at dinner. It's empty in there. No one's
Wait, you ate
going.
there? You ate in there for lunch or dinner? Sorry.
I I did.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god,
eat in. Well, if I'm
dude,
gonna
I feel bad
pay,
for you.
hey, hear me out. If you're gonna pay for the meal, you should probably take advantage of all of the, like, I guess, bonuses that come with the food. So use as many napkins as you want. Have a cup of water on them. Flush their toilet a few times, you know?
Wait, hold on. Why exactly? Why would you do
Just so
this?
to maximize money spent on the meal.
Okay. Yeah, it's like you're not getting your money's worth if you simply eat and leave. Like you have to like abuse the fountain machine, the drink
Hmm.
fountain. You have to take up some space in their garbage can. Like you have to just make your presence a little bit more known.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like
Ruffle
downloading,
a few chip bags.
use some of their Wi-Fi bandwidth. Okay, so it's usually pretty empty in there, Eric, because it's dinner time, and who the hell is eating Subway for dinner? Like, they honestly should just close for dinner. I don't know why people would want to eat that for dinner. It's a lunch food.
It really is. But you know what, Ty? It's like that meme where it's like they don't know I'm secretly a Subway podcaster. It's like that's
Mm,
what the sandwich artists are thinking. It's like, who's that loser over there eating by himself? It's like they don't know
totally.
how to actually podcast about this place twice
Yeah,
a
they don't
week.
know I'm taking detailed notes, but if you think about every restaurant that you've ever been to for dinner, the closest they will ever get to offering a sandwich on the menu is a hamburger.
Why'd
So
you say it like that? A hamburger.
a hamburger. I thought I said it normally, but so it would make sense for Subway to pivot the model after 5 p.m. and start offering hamburger footlongs,
Smashed patties.
smash patties. They could literally just take the meatball, step on it, and they got themselves a dinner menu.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right about this, Ty. Do you think like most people feel shame when they go to Subway after dark for dinner, and so they like probably just like take it to go? Like, is that why you didn't see anyone?
Oh, that's probably it. Honestly, they should feel shame. I felt shame. Everybody that's in there feels shame for whether they're working or patroning.
Yeah, that's true. But it's open, so you would assume that it is frequented enough outside of the lunch hour for it to like justify being open, especially the 24-hour subways. Actually, do you
Hmm.
think like the acceptance for Subway kind of comes and goes in waves, like high tide and low tide? Like noon is high tide. That's like the most acceptable time to go to Subway. And then it goes down, and then it's like dinner time, it's low tide, right? But then as soon as it's like 2 in the morning, you're back up to high tide again. It's like, let's fucking run it back.
Hmm.
2 a.m. sub sounds fucking awesome.
Oh, dude, once we're on demon time, all meals open up, you know? It's
Yep.
all the like between 1 in the morning and 5 in the morning, because there is no socially aligned upon meal that's appropriate at that time. All meals
Hmm.
are go. It's like purgatory for food.
Well, you know what, Ty? It's because we don't have big breakfast, like peddling like a certain meal type for that time of day. There's not enough of a market there. It's really only like 19 to 27-year-olds who are eating
Hmm.
after midnight. But like for example, we have like cereal being pushed to us early on in the day,
Hmm.
but there's nothing after dark where it's like big corporations are telling us like this is what you're supposed to be eating after midnight.
Yeah, there's clearly a market. Everyone I know has craved a midnight meal. Here's what I think should happen, Eric. Because there's no set standard for what to eat, we should protect that abundance of options at all cost. And I would like a player like Whole Foods to move into the midnight meal market and just
Hmm.
unlock the buffet in the like the salad bar buffet section of Whole Foods, the hot food, and let
Hmm.
people go to town in there all night. Because then you could get like a little bit of fettuccine and
Hmm.
maybe like some quinoa and I don't know, whatever you feel like. Because
Hmm.
there is no rules. You could get scrambled eggs. You could get anything.
Yeah, I think you're right because like any business open that late needs additional security, especially if there's like
Hmm.
valuable stuff inside. I don't think like most fast food places have security because like what are you gonna steal like a handful of lettuce? Like you're not gonna like leave with anything good. But for a grocery store to be open late where there might be an increase in crime, maybe drunk teenagers coming in and like breaking shit or like stealing stuff, you probably need to hire some extra muscle, a
Yeah,
real
probably.
bucket bouncer.
I was just gonna say that is the one downside is you'll need a bucket bouncer. Maybe it isn't grocery stores. I was just thinking that some offer like the hot food, build your own, charge by the weight cardboard box
It
vibe,
would be
but
nice.
it could be just a brand new buffet concept, late night buffet. People would totally go for that, but you would need a full army of bucket bouncers to keep the slimy, like beer stained college kids keeping their grubby fingers out of there.
Hmm. Yeah, you need people to make sure the spoons are in the right place, because
Hmm.
you can't have someone mixing the chicken Alfredo spoon with the meatball marinara spoon. It's just
No,
cause for disaster.
crossing wires like that's a liability for sure.
Short circuit your stomach.
Okay, so I'm walking in a subway. It's empty, but it's not fully empty, Eric. There's already one, maybe two token single men eating their footlongs at their tables. I think there's just one other guy. And as I walk in this restaurant, I immediately engage eye contact with the one other single guy in there, and
Well,
we
how'd you
both
how'd you know I was here?
caught you.
Yeah, busted.
we we both do this very strange rigmarole, Eric, where we lock eye contact and both give each other a subtle nod, like we know why we're both here.
The old ball and chain is out of town.
Hmm. Yeah, a strange salute, if of sorts.
A dog whistle.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yep. Respect. I was just respectfully like it's keeping each other quiet, almost like a salute of
Hmm.
silence.
Exactly. Wow. So what did you get?
Yeah, dude. Great question. I just kind of like fucking ran it through the garden. Couple dollops of marinara sauce. Ate in.
Damn.
I asked about the footlong cookie. No bueno. They didn't even know what it was.
That's the biggest miss right there. The fact that they don't even know what it is. Like, when do you
Mhm.
think the last time is they checked their work email?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't even know if they have a work email. This is the third episode we've talked about the footlong cookie. And for an employee on the inside to have not even heard of it makes no sense to me. What are
Hmm.
they doing over there?
I mean, to be fair, we're probably getting paid more by Subway than all other sandwich artists. That's for sure. So we might be just ahead of the curve on that one.
Yeah, our commission split's a bit better than most artists.
Hmm. Okay, Ty, we have to talk about not Wednesday's dinner, but Thursday's dinner,
Oh,
which was
yes,
much more
yes.
exciting. Speaking of like eating certain foods at the wrong time of day, I think it fully relates to what we had shared yesterday. Do you want to do the honors of
Oh, yeah, of
describing
course,
it?
of course. First seating, 5:30 p.m. at Blue Chip Restaurant in Vancouver, Kissa Tanto. We basically broke down the door trying to get in so we could get that first seating. The head Michelin star chef had to come out and manage us, but I cannot be managed, Eric. I cannot be managed in this place.
Yeah, dude, Ty went on a Kanye style rant in order to get a table ahead of some reservation holders, I'm guessing,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a
Mm-hmm.
line of
Oh
people,
yeah.
but we had just entered the line at the beginning because one of our friends had spoken to the spoken to the manager.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
So yeah, we got in
Proactively
right away.
Karening your way in feels really good.
Yeah. I mean, we should always be sending a girl to do that kind of thing. Like if one of us was like, "Yo, bro, got any room for four? No rezo." Like we're getting turned down. There's no question.
Dude, this is the biggest problem is nobody wants men anywhere. There's nowhere left for us to go. There's anywhere that a man wants to go, there's already too many men there.
Exactly. There's always too many men. That's the problem, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
And there's never ever too few men. That's unless you're at war.
Dude.
That's the only
I
thing.
was gonna say, like, this is one of the benefits of war historically, is to cull the men.
Mhm. Give men a reason to be
Mm-hmm.
around each
In
other.
time
Yeah.
in times of security and safety and plenty and abundance, we just have too many men. What's the lonely or the Flight of the Conchords song? Too many dudes with too many dicks. Too hard to meet tricks.
Hmm.
Anyways, we get inside Kissa Tanto, get seated. Our server, totally a career server. The way he was managing the sparkling water was practically like an art form.
Hmm.
See the way he
Masterful.
was, yeah. He lays down the specials and then he drops some words that Eric and I could not resist.
Our ears perked up so hard when
Mm-hmm.
we heard these words. We had to like deliberate. We had to be like, the jury needs a minute to talk this over. This is a lot of information.
Yeah, absolutely. And the words the server said that we couldn't resist were $90 omelet.
Well, they didn't come out exactly verbatim, but he did describe a French style omelet cooked with some, I think, a pecorino sauce, some black
Mm-hmm.
pepper, a miso butter,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 grams of shaved truffle just all over. I think he
Oh, yeah.
said something like that, just all over the top. And
Mm-hmm.
then
White truffle too.
under his breath, Ty, he muttered, and that one's $90. And I was like, I didn't hear him. I was like, did I hear 90? I was like so unsure if it was actually if he actually said 90. But then it turns out you heard the same thing. And then I was like, oh, fuck, it's really a
Mm-hmm.
$90 omelet. How many eggs do you
Peer
think were in that?
reviewed. Oh, well, it was a pretty big omelet. Yeah,
It was like
spoiler, we ordered it.
three eggs max. Like
I,
maybe three small ones or two
yeah, I
jumbo
think
ones.
they're medium to single large. You know, we're not hitting triple A large here.
That's for sure. Yeah, dude. So we order
Wow.
the omelet. This is obviously after. This is the main course, by the way. This is after we got started with some deep fried olives, some carne crudo. I've been in my crudo bag lately. I think every place I go, I order that. Obviously,
Dude,
Ty
carne
was sitting there.
crudo. Yeah, I was
What about
salivating the whole time. Oh, it just sounds like a wrestler name.
it? Carnage crudo. I mean, that thing was carnage because that was the most thickly diced like crudo I've ever had, and the finest dusting of Parmigiano on top.
A beautiful contrast.
Yeah, it really was. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Ty was waiting patiently for me to wolf down all these raw meats before the
Hmm.
main event came. But when it pulled up, Ty, it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
The omelet, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Dude, it had like the skin surface of a baby child. You know, it was perfect skin, not a pore in sight.
Dude, it was the smoothest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. I think they probably like they had to have like filled in any gaps that were there or
Hmm.
just like made it like 4 times and then use the fourth one. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why it
they gave
costs
those
so much.
chickens Botox.
Yeah. Do those chickens like I need to know what kind of chicken produced that omelet. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
eh, obviously a free range, right? But how big is the range? Like where are these chickens running to and from? Epstein's Island?
Damn, it was really free over there.
Yeah, dude. These chickens have an expense account. Is what I'm saying.
Dude, these. They must if they can afford to hang out with these other ingredients. Like that truffle, there was so much truffle on that thing, dude. Real truffle too.
That was that was real truffle, and it was the strongest truffle dish I've ever had in my life. I swear to God, like
Mhm.
quantity and like potency. You know?
Yeah. But you know what? I've always felt that the truffle flavor profile was a little too intense. It kind of consumes the most dishes that it's in, even in small quantities. But this is the first time that I was eating it, appreciating that potency and craving more of it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just with the pecorino had such a there's such an umami flavor that came out of those two that like this is what I've been trying to create with my like garlic aioli and chipotle southwest combo. You know that
Hmm.
umami.
Oh, dude, I don't think anything like this is replicable unless we spend another $90. But looking back, Ty, at this photo I took, the truffle slices are layered up against each other almost exactly like a BMT. It's like
Mm,
just perfectly stacked, just like in a uniform line across the omelet. And I gotta say, man, this thing is a sight to behold. Like it's
wow.
just insane.
I actually think the plate the in retrospect, looking at a picture of this omelet, it looks a little bit cursed to me because the
Okay,
color
let's
palette's
hear it.
unnatural. You got this like big yellow burrito and then brown truffle on top that is so like thinly shaved. It kind of looks like sliced ham from the deli.
It does have a, yeah, it has a bit of ham, like of a look, you know.
Yeah, a bit hammy.
But okay, the the egg itself, how does one even achieve an egg so smooth and milky? It was smoother than my martini.
Mhm. I don't really know. I've watched so many YouTube videos, as every man does, on how to cook the perfect Japanese omelet,
Hmm.
and there's an art to it of, like, you gotta, like, spank the frying pan while you're cooking it. I don't know if you've seen this move where you, like, give it a little pat, even whether it's a
Mm.
good pan or a bad pan, you gotta give it a little spanking.
Right, right, right. A little love tap to make sure
A
it's
little love tap.
working. I get it.
Mhm. Give it a little wiggle and jiggle. There's some moves. You gotta do some moves to get it there, to turn an egg into that thing.
You know what? I can't unsee a wet burrito now. I just see like this yellow burrito, corn flour perhaps, sitting in like a pool of like what's it called? Pecorino sauce. It's
Mhm.
just fantastic, Ty. I've been thinking about this all
Cheese.
fucking day today.
Me too. I cannot wait to eat it again. I'm gonna be at Christmas parties this weekend. I'm gonna be like that meme where the guy's in the corner and he's thinking, no one in this room knows that I ate a $90 omelet.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you and Bay laying in bed, and she's gonna be like, "I wonder what he's thinking about." And then in your thought bubble, it's just a like perfect omelet with truffle on it.
Damn. Wow.
I mean, we've
Sometimes
had a
the side chick isn't even a chick, but in this case it kind of is. It's a chicken.
damn side chickens.
Wow.
So Ty, I'm wondering now that we've like kind of broken down and deconstructed this thing, do you think it was worth $90? I wonder like what is the price breakdown of the ingredients here? Like what are we really paying for?
Right. Despite Biden's eggflation, that I think was the cheapest ingredient in the dish tonight. The pecorino cheese, I don't know what the quantity was. I think they subsidized it a bit with heavy cream, but that was probably a if it came straight from Tuscany, it's going to be a I don't know. What are sheep rare? I don't know. Pecorino comes from sheep, right?
I think so. It's expensive, but I don't know if you need a lot of it to make a sauce. You know what I mean? It's not
Mm.
it's not just like straight pecorino. You're probably right. They added maybe some kind of cream or a milk or maybe just like water even. I'm not sure. It was very like very watery. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not watery, but it was wet. It was a sauce.
So, dude, I'm assuming that like gram for gram truffle is more expensive than most drugs. So we got to give it up to the truffle, for, or perhaps it was, you know, that old age like idiom, which is that you're not paying me for the time it took me to do it. You're paying me for the time it took me to learn to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. But also probably the former as well, because like if they in fact had to run it back a few times, they might incorporate that into the cost of the item. It's like we know
Mm.
we will probably have to make 20 omelets for 5 customers tonight because we're
Mm.
going to throw out 15 of them. Let's just factor that all in, you know? Because there's
Right.
no way that like 4 grams of truffle, while it was the strongest truffle I've ever had, there's no way it's worth like $75 and then like $25 for the 2 eggs. There's no way.
For sure. I mean, there's also something about the allure of the price playing a brand role. Like, it doesn't cost $1 million to make Pharrell's $1 million bag, but the price tag is the exciting part of that purchase. So
Hmm.
I bet you they could have sold that omelet for $50, $30 even, and it still would have been they would have still made a regular amount of profit off it. But by tripling that number, you attract a
Hmm.
certain type of clientele, podcasters.
Foodfluencers. Wow. You know what's funny, Ty? We like spent an entire sandwich artist's daily earnings on one breakfast dish.
Mm. On just one ingredient that you can get at Subway. Like the eggs at Subway, they look, which is really funny that the eggs at Subway, they look like actual clouds in comparison. This looked like a wet burrito. When I imagine the shape of the Subway scrambled egg, what do you think of? I think of like a mollusk almost, some sort of like organically growing, very firm, very hard, like a diamond, like a gemstone. I don't really know. You know what I mean? The way it grows.
Yeah. I totally get it. I was picturing more of like a moss, you know what I mean, on the side of
Mm,
like a derelict tree, something like that,
yeah.
where it's like
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
fungal.
natural. It's fungal, yeah. It's growing and it has a life of its own.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
It's
Do the eggs at
yeah.
Subway are growing? They don't ever have to buy any because it's just constantly reproducing.
Yeah, they just take their bread knife and cut a little off and put it in your foot long.
It's like when you're growing your own herbs at home. You just give it a snip when you're cooking up a steak or something, and then
Mhm.
you're good after that.
Damn, infinite rosemary. Yeah,
Mhm.
dude,
Infinite
totally different
rosemary
A
glitch.
game.
But it also makes me think, Ty, like, do you think there's a Wagyu style play happening here? Like in the Japanese Wagyu, for example, they have to like treat the cows a certain way. Like there's standards for, what kind of food they're taking in. Like I think they get massages, like stuff like that. It
Mhm.
just kind of moves the fat around, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So my question is, do you think these chickens were getting sucked off Wagyu style?
Oh, yeah, it's true. Going back to like your Epstein Island kind of reference here, like these chickens probably lived a life very different than your normal chicken to stimulate the growth that they needed to produce eggs like that.
Hmm. It's like a stress-free chicken will probably produce a better egg than one that is, I don't know, in a 1 foot by 1 foot metal cage that's being thrown around a warehouse, you know?
Yeah, totally. So, wow. What makes a chicken happy besides just getting like topped up by a little chicken vacuum or whatever? I don't even know how to pleasure a chicken. I've never thought about it. I don't. I don't even know if it's possible. Can they even like?
Yeah.
Can birds? How do birds even mate? It doesn't make sense.
I think birds mate the same way all animals do, and that's doggy style. Like, have you ever seen an animal do any other sex position? They all do. This should just be called animal style. Shout out in and out.
Yeah, dude, it's a good point actually. It's always the same move. Animals only have one move when they mate, you know? Humans have like built a whole like hieroglyphic like dance of shapes
Hmm.
and forms.
Absolutely, the Karma Sutra.
Mhm.
But I think like dolphins are probably the only other animal that have sex for pleasure, like dolphins and humans.
Do dolphins
So
do that?
one would assume if that's what I said is true, then yes.
Wait, so wait. I- Is this true? It seems like an
Yeah,
oddly specific fact to share and then immediately retract.
I didn't retract it. I'm standing on business right now. Dolphins having
One would
sex for
assume if
pleasure.
it's true.
I'm hitting the
Yeah,
craziest
pull
Google
this
search
up.
right now on my work laptop.
Nice.
New research. Okay, this is from 2020, 2022. Sorry. New research confirms that the animals do experience pleasure when having sex due to their large clitorises. Damn,
Oh
they
wow.
got the gumball clit.
Damn.
Crazy.
Wait. So with the dolphins, if you're underwater, could you have a WAP because you're already wet on the outside too? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. A wad, maybe? Wet ass dolphin?
Yeah, a wad. Well, they're always wet.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, a
So,
dolphin, the outside of a dolphin is the same texture and kind of like viscosity as the omelet we ate. Like if I imagine a
wait, what?
dolphin and I imagine the omelet we ate, they kind of have the same skin.
Look, just kind of blubbery, but like smooth as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. And I imagine like when we sliced open our omelet tie, like the outer edge was obviously the membrane holding the entire operation together.
Mm-hmm.
But when I sliced it open inside, as the two flaps kind of pulled apart, you could see a very nice, soft kind of style scramble inside.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly scrambled, dude.
Absolutely perfect. So, yeah, I imagine it's the same thing when you slice open a dolphin. You know what I mean? The inside is just kind of like, just look wet.
Yeah, actually, it's probably the same texture. That is so weird.
It is weird, but I can tell you're really thinking about it.
And I think you're right though. That's so it's so messed up about it. That's so messed up, dude.
Wow. So,
Ah,
where do we go from here, Ty? Do we ever order that again?
I think it was worth the money, and only because no food has lived rent free, or actually I paid a premium for this thought, but
Yeah.
no food has lived in my mind this long after eating it.
Mm, yeah. I mean, it's only day one post omelet, so we need to check back in like 6 months from now and decide like what's the best egg you ever had. And there's no way we're ever gonna have a better egg than that. Like I just
I
don't
don't
see
think
it
so.
happening.
Yeah,
Um,
we're kind of in a who's eating who situation now, Eric, because
mhm.
this omelet has eaten up all of my thoughts.
What came first, the podcast host or the egg?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm a glutton for punigment, and I'll be coming back for more.
Hmm. But this is a great tie. I think me and you should make a habit out of trying like some ridiculous food items, like ridiculously expensive or like rare or popular, whatever, and then making a whole episode about it. Because I think this
Hmm.
is talking about this, like this shared experience that we had yesterday, is actually just like perfect content in my eyes.
Yeah, totally. I understand why we have legions now for men to share the experience, come together for a shared experience that
Hmm.
they went through.
We came back from battle and we were like satiated and just happy to talk about it.
Hmm.
But man, that Kissa Tanto, that place has glowed up so hard in the last like year or two that it's like a different place. It's like when your friend gets
Hmm.
rich or something, and you're just like you just look at them differently. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
before I used to go there like all the time and just walk straight in, sit at the bar, order a few drinks, and it was no problem. But now it's like you gotta, you know, hit on the door guy.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it is weird. They rose to the occasion. They said we're going to continue to raise the bar for what we do, and I'm not
Hmm.
talking about the unhoused person bars on the front door. It's more of a professional bar.
That is true. I think the last time we went there together, Ty, we were being chased by unhoused, and we had seeked refuge inside the Michelin star restaurant. And
Damn.
we like ran up the steps, and then we looked back, and it was almost like a invisible barrier that like the homeless person couldn't cross. They were like, I just
Yeah.
know I can't step foot in here.
I
It was
can't go
so
in there.
strange.
Yeah, what a weird moment of privilege to like enter a safe space like that.
Yeah. We like ran up the steps like all like sweaty and out of breath, and we're like, we need a table for 4 stat.
We can't go back out there. It's not safe.
Yeah. If we go, don't send us back out there. We'll die. We have to
Yeah.
eat here. What a
Wow.
time.
What an incredible place. An incredible
Oh,
journey with you, Eric.
absolutely. One other thing that I thought was so impressive, Ty, and just like validates why they have a Michelin star or recommendation, one of the two,
Star.
a star. My apologies, respectfully. They have a star, Ty, and it's for good reason. When the 4 of us got the bill, it was perfectly split based on what everyone had eaten, not what anyone had ordered, but what they had actually eaten. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like the most impressive thing I've ever seen, because we never specified how we wanted it split. We just said like, yeah, we'll grab the bill now. And he came by, put the omelet between you and I, which is how we had divided that up. Everyone had their own drink. We had some appies that weren't vegetarian, and so he excluded you from those, and then had split some other things with our other friends. So it was like to the T exactly what I had put in my mouth while I was paying for. It was
Mm-hmm.
really impressive.
And you didn't even have to open your mouth to get that split. That's the incredible thing.
Yeah, I didn't even have to say a single word. All I did was
No.
beep, tap the
It,
Amex, and that was it.
it's almost like after he'd drop off the dishes, he'd lurk in the corner and watch every bite we took, making notes for the bill.
Yeah, it's kind of like at Subway when you like sit down with your sandwich and then they're looking at you from their office, being like, "Is he gonna leave yet?"
Yeah. They just like sulk on a cardboard box and like half look at their phone and half give you a death glare. Like, we want to close up shop here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, but yeah, very very impressive. I wish we had stayed for dessert, but we had additional plans. We had a second dinner to go to each,
Mm-hmm.
so if it was up to me, Ty, I would have canceled your dinner and my dinner, and we would have stayed there longer. But it is what it is. We'll have to go back.
Mm-hmm. It's just temptation for next time.
Exactly. You always got to leave a little earlier than you want to, so they have a reason to go back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. That's why I only ever eat 11 inches of my footlong.
It's actually a smart move to throw out the last couple of inches, because then you won't hate yourself.
Yeah. Dude, when I got my footlong for dinner the other night, you know how I always let out one big cough after I eat?
Oh, me and the breadheads are familiar.
Yeah. My entire walk home, the walk of shame, which is about 6, 7 minutes, I was coughing nonstop the entire walk, Eric. I couldn't get this demon out of my gut.
Hmm. You need an exorcist, something to just
I
really like set you straight.
I really did. So maybe I should skip that last bite. I think that's the one that really does me in, the last nail in the coffin. It's the most
Hmm.
sauced out bite. So
Yeah. No one needs that much food. I'll be honest. 12 inches of anything, unless it's a
mhm.
hot dog. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, hot dogs could be infinite length because they're not real food. They're just for fun.
Exactly. It's just for fun. Hold the bun. I'll take the dog.
Dude, I've never eaten a hot dog to be full. I've only eaten them because it just felt like a fun thing to do.
I actually 100% agree with you. Like at a stadium, I'm always down for a dog no matter what meal I had
Hmm.
before or I'm going to have after. Like, yes, I'm down for a hot dog.
Yeah, for sure. Stadiums, barbecues, camping. There's only a few birthday parties in a park. There's a few places you like eat a hot dog and you're never hungry. They're only
IKEA.
because IKEA, you're participating in like the ritual of the hot dog consumption has been integrated into the act. It's just for
Hmm.
fun.
It really is. And that's like, it's like the same category as ice cream. Wait, is a hot dog a dessert if it's purely for fun?
Yeah, it probably is. It's closer to the dessert than the sandwich. Like, ketchup's so sweet.
Yeah, that's true. Relish and ketchup are both sweet ingredients that you just top
Mhm.
off your hot dog with.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting
Brilliant.
topped off, Eric, I think it's time to end this episode.
It is. Breadheads, thanks for indulging with us. And
Mhm.
yeah, we had to do 46 minutes, Ty, or else the omelet wouldn't be worth it. So,
Mhm.
you're welcome, Breadheads, for that.
Yeah, dollar for dollar, I felt like it was, an investment in ourselves.
Exactly. Okay, Breadheads, thanks for listening. We'll chat to you on Tuesday.
Ciao.